Okay, everyone, as promised, here is my checkup on the cards from last week. I like doing this anyway, so it really is no strain for me to do it for you, my patrons and followers, because it's good to look back and say, like, what did we get right? How did things shift? What did we get wrong? So we started with the Three of Cups, which was inspired, working together and feeling really hopeful about the week. I think because we had, the March coming up and then we had the elections. And so that was super inspirational for us. We were ready to go. Then we had the Magician. And originally in this, I saw that we had everything we needed. You know how the Magician has representation of all the suits on the table, as above, so below, all that kind of stuff. But I see this now as Cory Booker, standing there and connected to the divine and grounded. And it looks very much like, him doing his amazing filibuster that no one was expecting. So there's that. And then, even after the filibuster, we had our elections. And then we definitely felt a little disappointed. I said that I read this last week that we would be disappointed in some of the election, that we wouldn't get everything that we wanted. I remember I said, I looked at it just now and I said that I wasn't sure that we would, things wouldn't go the way we wanted to in Florida or Wisconsin or what was going to happen, but we would end up frustrated. And, even after this wonderful experience with Cory. Then we had the Knight of Pentacles come up for us, which is, just we've, there's too much stake. Oh, sorry. There's too much at stake for us and the thing that we tend to do is we tend to want things to go a certain way. And if they don't go exactly that way, we give up. We just want to retreat. And we really need to stop doing that. Like, yeah, we didn't win Florida, but we increased the margins by a ton. And so this card is reminding us to not just throw the baby out with the bathwater and to also not get so stuck on the how and the when. We know what's coming and we keep getting stuck on this how and when, and we let it affect our energy. And that is something that we need to get very skilled in not letting it do. Then we had our this is like nurturing after what happened and then just moving on, right? And also is symbolic of not caring so much about what MAGA thinks. And I think that's really significant because, you know, for a while we were really into the FAFO and wanting to change MAGA's minds and how could they think like this. And if you've noticed, the conversations have shifted away from that and more into what we are doing. Like they can just get left in the dust. We're ready to move on and to, make amends with who we can, but to really focus on our efforts rather than, whatever kind of kerfuffly brainwashy stuff they're saying, whatever, right? Then we had the world, which was just getting frustrated with delays. Again, kind of related to this, where, the frustration with the delays, but also in that is an opportunity for us to unify. And we saw that also with the march, like that was huge, right? We saw this huge, um, you know, everyone all around the world were marching, and it's an opportunity for us to continue to unify, and that every hit that they serve us with, just we use that energy not to get defeated, but to unify us more and strengthen us to push us more into what we want and where we are going. And that's followed by the return to inspiration. Oops, sorry, I missed it. Return to inspiration and growth, and to, keep focusing on our potential, right? And we definitely did that, leading, after, kind of toward the middle of the week when we were kind of over the election stuff. And then we had the tariffs, which was a whole lot of no good. And this, originally symbolized something different to me, which was walking away exhausted and just wanting to just leave it all behind, even though all those cups are sitting there. But I see this as having to walk away from these golden cups, this idea of, our savings being safe and the tariffs going away and all that kind of stuff, and just going, oh God, he's wrecking everything. Screw it, I'm out of here, right? And also turning away from relying on that, on the stock market and everything else right now, just walking away from all of that until we see how it all settles later, and joining in community and seeing how we can support each other. And then we had our march. That's what this means to me now. The Wheel of Fortune, right? Destiny, turning point, right? The marches were a huge turning point. Unbelievable. With the rise of the divine feminine, and remember, this doesn't mean women. This means staying in compassion and intuition and caring about other people, which is really what the marches were all about, right? And all the speeches and everything was that we care about each other. We want to support each other, and we have community. As I said in my post yesterday, it's this is the time now that we found that community to get together and really start building the new. And then these two cards flew out at the end, remember last week? And so the death card is change and beginning of the new. And that's what's happening. Things have to die away for new things to be born. And we are still in the midst of that, of course. In these, it's not going to be one big, right? It's all of these little things falling away. And this is our work as the people to rebuild the new. And then the justice card came up. And the justice card, of course, we want that to be the big justice thing. But it also reflects to me now, as I've been watching and following stories on the news, that this is symbolic of the lower courts, especially supporting us and not him. And, there's a judge in California and then another judge who said, you've got to get those people back from El Salvador, and they're not backing down. And that's really inspiring and gives us a lot of hope that there is still some check and balance left. Okay. So I will be doing a reading later for this week, but that's the evaluation from last week's reading. Pretty accurate. And yeah, let's just keep focusing on hold on to that energy. Like, hold on to that energy from yesterday. So much got stirred up in all of us, and we see now that we're not alone, and so many people are either in the same situation we are, or who are, here to fight for those who are in those situations. So the people power and the turning of the tide, again, this is our hope. We got this.